All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in this one, man. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. The Sports Coma is in the building. Shout out to you guys. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Saints in this report and the Cardinals discussing an expensive 2026 draft trade. Saints Wire covers the scoop as we're talking about what's going on with the team as we get with merely days from the draft, fam. The draft is Thursday. The first round is Thursday. The second and third rounds are Friday, and rounds 4 through 7 is Saturday. The draft, this is draft week. And man, listen, we're going to see some interesting moves. But in this report, we're talking about Mickey Loomis, and what are the Saints going to do? Are they going to trade up to try to go after a particular player? Me personally, I think they should just stand pat and wait and get whoever falls. You can't lose. So whoever you get at number 8, you're going to get somebody that's going to be a starter, whether that's Caleb Downs, whether that's Carnell Tate, whether that's one of these defensive ends that's listed inside the top 10 that'll fall to you, whether it's cornerback from LSU, Mansour Delane, whether it's Jeremiah Love. At 8, you cannot miss at 8. Or how about this? You can always be great at 8 for the Saints. So there's no need to be able to, step outside and do something, by spending a bunch of draft picks and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, let's just get into this article that New Orleans Saints general manager is known for taking a patient approach to the draft. The longest tenured GM active in the league today has traded up early and often over his decades of experience, and he could do it again in 2026. One team looking to move down is the Arizona Cardinals, who are currently scheduled to pick 3rd overall on Thursday night. And one of their beat reporters sees Arizona trading down with the Saints in the first round. Here's more from Johnny Venerable from PHNX Sports. He said, quote, they get pick 8 from New Orleans, they get pick 42, and they get pick 73. So no 2027 draft capital is exchanged with New Orleans, Venerable reasoned, adding, I think that's the preference rather for these teams. In fact, I know it, end quote. So Venerable said that the Cardinals have discussed a trade down with the Chiefs as well, who picks behind the Saints at number 9. And both teams have the same targets in mind. Who? Pass rushers David Bailey and Arvell Reese, with Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza expected to go 1st overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. Bailey is widely predicted to follow him at the 2nd pick to the Jets. That would mean a bidding war for picking up Arvell Reese. Is that really something the Saints should be getting into? This team isn't one player away from ending their 5-year playoff drought. Trading their 2nd and 3rd round picks to move up is awful rich, but you can kind of see the logic behind it if the 2027 draft is expected to be deeper than this one. At the same time, it's a big gamble for them to make with so many vulnerabilities to address at other positions. Making this trade would mean the Saints don't pick again until 132 near the tail end of round 4. That shuts the door immediately on help at wide receiver, defensive tackle, and in the secondary, along with many other areas of need. So let's hope this isn't a deal Loomis is committed to seeing through. The bottom line is, I don't like this deal. I don't like the idea of them, the Saints potentially talking about moving up to go and get Arvell Reese. Although I do like Arvell Reese's talent, I just don't think the Saints should do that. I mean, here's a list of picks going into Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday's draft. You can see the Saints. They're talking about the Saints giving up the 8th pick, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd picks. So 1, 2, 3 gone to go get Arvell Reese, which means you don't pick again until the 4th round, the 32nd pick in the 4th round. And of course, you'll have 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. So you'll finish out with 5 picks, giving up the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for Arvell Reese. Now, listen, I like Arvell Reese a lot, and I can understand what the Saints are attempting to do. They're saying this, and as ESPN is showing you, that Arvell Reese is considered the best player in the draft. And for those who don't know, Reese, 6'4", 240 plus pound, uh, a linebacker out of Ohio State. Some list him as the best player in the draft. I have him up there. I don't have him listed as the best player. But the draft analysis is showing you that his player comps is Abdul Carter, the fantastic defensive player for the Giants. Hybrid off-ball linebacker who displayed great physical traits at the combine, running a 4.46 at the 40s. He's explosive, no doubt about it. Get off with bend and flexibility to dip under blocks, run the arc. Reese's ability to transition from speed to power is one of his greatest strengths. Shooting his hands to overwhelm offensive tackles at the point of attack. He can also win with pure speed as an off-ball backer. He has the size and strength to take on blocks between the tackles and when rushing from depth. He closes quickly and can overpower running backs in protection. He has the body control, speed, length, and match up well with both backs and tight ends in coverage. He would be probably one of the more fascinating players that we've seen here in a while, man. If the Saints, so the Saints are really looking at Arvell. You can see his numbers: 34 tackles and 6.5 sacks on this season for Arvell Reese. But the Saints are looking at him, and you can see his body of work over the last 2 years at Ohio State. In 2024, you can see him with 43 tackles overall. And then, of course, you look at him, not so much the production in 24, but the body of work in 25 cannot be denied. 1 year leap right there. It's also what you're looking at. The Saints scouting are pretty good. They see flexibility with Arvell Reese. And I got to say, he's probably their top guy on the board, to be honest with you, is Arvell Reese. So they're looking at it, hey, man, if we have 8 picks in the draft, we got 5 picks in the first 4 rounds. If we can give up, a first, a second, and a third to move up and trade with Arizona to land Arvell Reese, that will really kind of shift our defense and put us on a whole nother level. Because not only will we have a good player, we have an elite level player that we plugging into our defense. We have Tyler Shuck on the opposite side. And then, of course, toward the back end, we'll start filling this out and doing all this other stuff that we need to do. Now, if the Saints are thinking about this as a possibility, because remember, the Chiefs are also involved when you talk about them looking to move up with the Cardinals for that spot. But this kind of lends some truth of what we're hearing and other trade rumors from Adam Schefter. I did a report about this earlier, talking about what could be the Saints looking to trade backup quarterback Spencer Rattler for a day 3 pick. That could add, adding him or trading him to get an extra pick would make sense if they were considering going to get the first, second, and third from this year, not using any capital from 2027, but using 1, 2, 3 this year to get Arvell Reese, and then trading Spencer for an additional third day pick to add to the remaining picks to try to then work the back of the draft or the 4th round area of the draft to bring in wide receiver, offensive line, tight end, and everything else that the Saints would need. It seemed like it's a risky gamble, and sometimes the fortune favors the bold, but Arvell Reese is definitely an elite level player. And the Saints obviously have him at the top of their board if they even considering anything like this. And if they figure, hey, man, this guy's the top of our board and we can land him for a first and second and a third round pick this year, nothing into next year, then we should pull the trigger on that and then work the back of the draft and get talent to finish out the rest of the things that we need, like wide receiver or cornerback or safety or whatever the case may be. Once again, we don't exactly know what the Saints game plan is with some of these particular players, like we have, like what did they see that they need to do. And we do realize that Saints were going to use a BPA or best player available approach in the draft. And Arvell Reese is obviously the top guy on their draft board if they want to try to pull off a move like this, because you're getting Arvell Reese, but you're giving up 3 potential starters for the Saints, a first round guy, whoever it is, whether it's wide receiver or cornerback. In the 8th overall pick will be a starter, whether it's that safety or wide receiver or cornerback. Then you look at the remaining picks. The second round pick, obviously, is going to be the same. The third round pick is obviously it's going to be a key depth position, right? If not a starter, the challenger starter, and then so on and so on to kind of finish out the rest of the draft. However it lines up, man, we'll see what it is. But the Saints, man, have other needs, and the writer's right. They're not one player away from doing this, but landing Arvell Reese as a player in your defense, the Saints do not have a superstar capable. Like, look, if you talk about our defense, y'all see if y'all can add that in terms of what we're looking at, knowing about all the talent that we have on our defense. The Saints do not have a superstar talent like Arvell Reese, what he could possibly be for your defense. They don't have that. We have some really good players. We got Carl Granderson, we got Chase Young, we got Brian Bresee, we got guys like that. We got Caden Ellis coming back. He's in his 30s, kind of a veteran. Pete Werner's been solid for us. Kool-Aid McKinstry's kind of ironing out. We do have Justin Reed and Jonas Sanker, who's going to really step it up. Quincy Riley's is showing that he can be solid. We still got to fill a few positions here or there. But could this be what the Saints are looking at, targeting Arvell Reese to be a guy to come in and be that guy, that key piece for the defense that we're looking for going forward? Like, they added Caden Ellis to replace Double D, not replace, but to kind of take the position over with Double D heading to the Jets. And then there's Pete Werner there. Perhaps the Saints are looking for a lot more, man. But nonetheless, man, regardless of how you splice it, this is a trade rumor that's currently going on right now. And we're just days away from the first round of the draft. Isn't that something? We finally got there. So anyway, with that being said, man, listen, y'all fill in the comments section. Let me know how you feel about this report right here. Let me know in the comment section. Would you pull off this trade? Yes or no? You know, if you saying yes, why would you do it? And tell me in the chat. I already know why you wouldn't do it. But for those who would consider this trade, why? Y'all fill in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel. Anyway, shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show. Much love to them. Please feel free to check out FanDuel for all your prop bets and all that kind of stuff. You know they're going to be having it going on with the draft, who falls here, there. You can win some real money at FanDuel. So with that being said, man, listen, I'm going to get ready to cut out on that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show, and I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love, peace, and Who Dat tell you.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who?
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.